Yes, it just looks hot out there so far this afternoon. Hagerstown with a little bit of a haze overhead, 90 degrees already. We just got past noon, and yes, we are into the 90s now, and we are keeping the dew points low, so humidity, again, is not as much of a factor, thankfully enough, as we continue along. But even still, we're already into the lower 90s in Charlestown, Frederick, like I mentioned, Hagerstown, and then into Manassas down to Northern Virginia. Everyone else is just short of that, but we'll be getting there over the next hour or two. And with the lower humidity, again, we're not fighting high heat index values, but we're still feeling like the lower to middle 90s back into the metros of Maryland and into portions of Northern Virginia. And feeling like 97 in Charlestown there with the river nearby, maybe a little added moisture to the air. And region-wide, again, it's just hot and warm out there no matter where you go. 90s along the coast and still into the middle 80s as you head back inland into portions of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio as well. Satellite and radar picture is crystal clear. We only have maybe a cloud or two out there today. Otherwise, a lot of clear sky, and that is a big reason why our temperatures are jumping up so much, is that sunshine is just going to continue as we move along. And certainly the hottest day of the year 2020 so far is occurring as we speak. Now, as we get into your 4th of July, it is still going to be warm out there for sure. Lower 90s are expected, but at least it is going to get a little less hot as we continue into the holiday. But as we get beyond that into Sunday and next week, then we'll have the humidity added on to those lower 90s, so we're going to start to feel very warm, very muggy then by the time we get into next week. The rest of your Friday, we are going to see a lot more of that sunshine, just additional clouds potentially here as we go through the late afternoon and evening. Rainfall will be off to our north and east, but it looks to avoid us as we go through the rest of the day today, so staying completely dry into your 4th of July tomorrow. And then we'll have a decent bit of clouds moving their way in later in the day tomorrow. A stray shower not out of the question as we go later into the afternoon and evening, but again, for the most part, we're just going to see completely dry and warm conditions as we go through the entire holiday tomorrow off into Sunday. So yes, we're going to be in those middle and upper 90s the rest of the afternoon today. We still back temperatures off to near seasonal in the 60s and 70s overnight into the 4th of July. And tomorrow afternoon, the temperatures will be in the upper 80s and lower 90s, and humidity just slightly starts to rise now as we go then through the rest of the weekend, as we'll be into those 60s and 70s still as we get into your Sunday. So check it out here. Like I mentioned, every single day the high temperature is going to be likely into those lower 90s, and the chance for rainfall steadily increases each day as we get through next week. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of dry time and not a lot of rainfall overall into next week.